record. Okay, previously again we discussed about the topic on how to discuss how to convert standard form, general form to standard form, and to determine whether your graph is a circle, empty set, or a point. So now we will have one example here, example 2.16. So you can see here, find, maybe I will adjust this a little bit. Okay. Find the equation of the circle whose diameter is the length of the line segment joining these 2 points. So it means ang iyahang diameter, so something like this is one of the points, -1, no. The diameter, if it is something like this one, if you will graph it, will look like this. The diameter, the first point is 5, -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1 for y. So this is one of the points. Then the other point is -3, 7. -1, 2, 3, 7 for y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it must be somewhere here. So maybe your circle will look like this. Okay, this is your circle. So it is stated that your diameter will pass through that point. So probably your center is somewhere here. Your rough estimate, your center is somewhere here, this portion. And our task here is to determine what is the equation of that circle. So what you're gonna do is, out of these 2 points, you will be determining your center and your radius. Remember, you can only find the equation of the circle if you know the center and the radius of your circle, right? So if you are going to find the center and you have 2 points here, so obviously the midpoint between these 2 points is your center C, right? So the midpoint. So if you will get the midpoint, the x bar, if you still remember the formula for midpoint, you will just add x sub 1 and your x sub 2, and you divide it by 2. And that will be the midpoint, the abscissa of your midpoint. While for your ordinate, it is just y bar equal to y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2. And that will be the abscissa of the the ordinate of the midpoint rather. So if you are going to set this be x sub 1, y sub 1, and here x sub 2, y sub 2. So your x sub 1 is 5 plus your x sub 2 is -3. So it will be 5 minus 3 over 2. And obviously, it is just 2 over 2 or 1. So for the ordinate, your y sub 1 is -1 plus your y sub 2 is 7. So that is 7 here over 2. And if you are going to simplify it, it will be 6 divided by 2, and that will be 3. So it means this point here is the point 1, 3. Hi guys. So you already have the center. So it means this one will also be considered as your H. Your microphone again. And this Y, simrog si Mike tugatingog ganina. And this Y will be your K. So think you already have your H and K. The only problem here is to find the radius. And to find the radius, you just have to use this center and this point, or this center and this point. You have to find their distance. And I think you already know the distance formula, right? The distance formula is is given by R or D. But R lang atong gamitin kay radius man atong gipangita is just equal to the square root of x
Squared.
sub 1 minus x sub 2 squared, right? Then plus your y sub 1 minus your y sub 2 squared, right? Maybe you are wondering, anong h ug k ang gigamit? Iyan ang gigamit diretso ang value ni center. So anyway, you can do any notation that you wanted to. Okay. So if you want to use this point, this is the point negative negative 1, no, negative 3, negative 37, right? This is the negative 37. So if you're gonna do that, so say for example, you set this as your x sub 1, your y sub 1. So you will now use here 1 minus your x sub 2 will be this one. So you have negative 3, so it will be plus 3, then squared, plus your y sub 1 is just 3, and then your y sub 2 is just 7, minus 7, then square. So if we will continue doing that, let me change it to black para maklaro. So it becomes 4, right? This is the square root of 4 squared plus this is also 4, right? Negative 4 squared. And if you simplify it further, it will be 16, that's plus 16. So that is square root of 32. So it means this distance is just equal to square root of 32. And that is your radius. Since you already have your radius, your h and k, then you are now ready to find the equation of your circle, right? So let us give here the general form, and you already know, I think you already know the equation, the general form of the equation of the circle, that is given by x squared plus y squared plus, sa ganit atong igamit ng notation class, this is d, no? dx, this should remember, plus ey
Yes, sir. Plus EY.
plus f equal to 0. So if you are
Plus
going to solve
F,
for
sir.
d, yes, your d is the negative of 2h, right?
Yes,
And your
sir.
h is 1, so that will be negative 2, right? Your e is just the negative of 2k. And your k is 3, so it means this is negative 6, right? And for your f, remember your f is just h squared plus k squared minus r squared. So your h squared, 1 squared is also 1. Okay. Your k squared, 3 squared, that is 9, minus your r, square root of 32. You take the square, that is 32, right? So if you're gonna simplify your f, if you simplify your f, that will be equal to negative 22, right? Because this is just 10. Sakto? So if you want to find your answer, your general form, your d class is just negative 2, right? So you can change this by negative 2. Your e is just negative 6. So it will be now -6. And your f is -22. If that is -22, then this will be your final answer. Any question for this? Clarification. You kindly unmute your microphone if na-concern. Naipangutana? Wala na? Okay, I think wala. Okay, let us continue to the next. Oops, what? Let me stop sharing. Wala man kay pangutana ato, class. Walay concern ato? Everyone? I want to hear coming from you. Do you have any question?
Wala na, sir.
Wala na. Okay,
None,
let
sir.
me share another picture. Tell me if you can see it. Get an?
Yes, sir.
The
Yes,
same
sir.
naman yato, no? This is just the
Yes,
same
sir,
with the
nakita, sir.
previous. Let us let me stop sharing this first. Maybe this is for 3. There is one thing that I am not able to discuss last time that I think it should be included in our discussion. This one. Okay. The tangent line. Okay. Can you see my screen now, class? Kita na akong screen.
Yes, sir.
Good. Dili ko putol-putol sa inyo, ha? Maklaro ra akong
Yes, sir.
again. Maklaro ra?
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. So,
Yes,
Clear
sir.
na, sir.
Klaro yung audio.
Yes, sir.
so the line L is tangent to a circle at point P if it intersect your circle at point P only. So something like this. If this is your Cartesian coordinate plane, and say for example, your circle is somewhere here, a line called tangent that is tangent to that circle if it will cross your circle at one point only. If it will cross your circle at only one point, then this line is called a tangent line. And this point is called the point of tangency. Okay? The point of tangency. So, and there is a remark that's stated here that the line big L with the equation ax by plus d equal to 0. We assume that this is your line L. And if L is tangent to the circle CH, the center with the center center HK rather, at point P, this is your point P, this is your center. Then the line segment small l joining from C to P, this is the small l, this one. This is the big L, this is the small l, is perpendicular to big L. It means this line here is perpendicular to this line. So it means this will form a 90 degrees angle. Okay? And another one, if you are going to find the radius of this circle, so for example, you are given with a tangent line and a center, you can find the radius directly by using this formula. The radius is just the distance, the absolute distance from C to P. And that is given by the absolute value of A times H plus B times K plus D, absolute value, all over the square root of A squared plus B squared. And then, as you can see, class, kung nanawin niyo ang babaw, padali ra hinumduman, Kung unsa ang form ni tangent line, sa equation ni tangent line, that should also be the same form here. But the difference is this x is replaced by the abscissa of your center. Okay? And this y will be substituted by the ordinate of your center. And whatever is that form, you get the absolute value and you get the denominator, and that will be the radius of your circle. Okay? We have one example here. Find the equation of the circle with the center -4, 2, the tangent and tangent to the line, this line. So as you can see, this is your H and this is your K. So wala na problema ang center because it is already given in the problem. Your problem here is to find the radius. What is the radius? As given here, the radius can be solved if you are given with the center and the equation of your tangent line. So what you're gonna do, the radius is just equal to the absolute value of a times h plus b times k plus d all over the square root of a squared plus b squared. And remember, your equation of the tangent line is 3x plus 4y minus 16. So mo na ang gi-follow diri class, oh. 3, 4 minus 16. Giilisdan lang si h ni -4. That is why you have -4 here. Kita ninyo? This y is replaced by 2. Clear? And you get the absolute value. By the way, where did I get this 3 and 4? This 3 is from your a, and that a should be taken from this variable beside x, and that is 3. Kita ninyo? This one. And this b should be coming from here, from the y term. I will repeat. A should be taken from here, b should be taken from here, and this is your d. Clear? So after that, you take the absolute value. This is just equal to, let me erase everything. This portion is just -12, right? This portion is just 8, and this is -16. If you simplify it, it will give you -20, right? Because this becomes -28 minus 8, that's -20. And the absolute value of -20 is +20, right? The absolute value of this. And the square root of 5 is just 5. And 20 divided by 5 is 4. So you already have your center. You already have your radius. So you can give now the equation of your circle, right? And I think you know that already. Okay? I'll leave it to you. You already have your center. You already have your radius. Then you can find the equation of the circle. Question? Question. So again, it is very important for us to remember this formula. This will be used in finding the radius of your circle if the center is given and the equation of your tangent line is also given. You can find the radius. Okay? And remember, you can only find the equation of your circle if you have center and radius. Questions so far? Before we proceed, any questions? Any questions, class? I want to hear coming from you. Can you hear me? Hello? Madunggan ko sa tanan?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. Okay. Then the next one is, let me share the next one. For a while. I have here, actually, I get this from the workbook from IIT. So hopefully you will enjoy it. Okay, here, nakita ninyo, class? Hello? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Kindly unmute your microphone if you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. That's the problem lagi no sa wala tay saktong internet connection here at school. Okay. Let me continue sharing my screen. Can you see it now, class? Can you see it? Tell me if nakita ninyo ako ang screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these problems are taken from the workbook of IAT. So you are answering the same problem what the college students are answering right now. So those students who are taking engineering, sciences courses, they are also answering the same problems with you. Okay, so here, I think you know this already, right? We are done discussing this one. And the rest of the problems are a little bit tricky. I will just select a few of this. Itong mga lisod-lisod akong pilion, katong sayon kamo na ang bahala og answer. Okay? And I just want you to be reminded that those odd numbers na ay mga answer sa ubos. So unsaon na lang ninyo pagpangita sa solution ng inyong concern. But those even numbers, kamo gyud ang mangita sa answers. Okay? And before I continue that one, as I mentioned last time, I asked you to study in advance how to find the equation of the circle if the 3 points are given. 3 points from your circle are given. So for example, these 3 points are from your circle, this one. Okay? So, if, so for example, this is your Cartesian coordinate plane, the negative 1, 2 is here, the 0, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 is somewhere here. So probably your circle look like this. Ano? Patingalin yung circle. Okay. You are given with these 3 points from your circle, then you are asked to find what is the equation of that circle. Okay. Kabalo na? Kinsay nakatanaw sa video last time? Hey, kinsay nakatanaw sa video? Anyone? I want to hear coming from you. Because I asked you to study it in advance, right? Am I right? Did I ask you to study in advance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, unsa inyong nasabtan? Unsa inyong nakuha? Okay, I want to hear from you. Any volunteer? Hello? Any volunteer from you? Ako'y manawag. And I ask Aaron Alforque. Alforque. Sa imong nastudihan, Aaron.
Koan sir, maghimo ka og tulo ka equation sir, tas gamiton to pang elimination dayon sir.
Yes, very good. So it means you need to remember first the general form of the equation of the circle, right, Aaron? So you
Yes,
will be
sir.
using the general form of the equation of your circle. So the general form of the equation of your circle is given by, I think you know that already. We presented that a while ago. That is just x squared plus y squared plus dx plus ey plus f equal to 0, right? This is the general form. And just bear in mind, if this point is a point of your circle, then you can substitute that in x and y, right? You can replace that in x and y. So if you're gonna do that, it will be now, this is negative 1, katong giingon ni Aaron ganina nga maghimo og equation. Tulo ka equation. Anong tulo? Kaya na may tulo ka points. If you will use the first point, then you will get this negative 1 squared plus 2 squared plus d times negative 1 plus e times your y is 2. That's coming from here. And your f, right? So, ang first equation would be 1 plus 4, that is 5, right? Minus d plus 2e plus f, right? Subtan class? Is it clear? Is the
Yes,
first
sir.
equation clear?
Yes, sir.
So we use the first point. If we will use the second point, the negative at the 0, 5, then it will be now, still you will use the general form, but you will be replace x and y by 0 and 5. So it will be 0 squared plus 5 squared plus d times 0 plus e times your y this time is 5 plus your f equal to 0. And if you simplify this one, this will just be equal to 25 plus 5e, because this d will be eliminated. That is just 0 plus f equal to 0. So that is the second equation. We obtain the second equation by just using the second point. The next one is if we will use the third point. If you will use the third point, that will be 2 squared plus 1 squared plus d times 2 e times 1 plus f equal to 0. So if you're going to simplify that one, this is 4 plus 1, that is 5 plus 2d plus e plus f equal to 0. Clear? Class, paspas ako class or okay ra?
Okay, sir.
Okay ra, sure mo
Yes,
ha?
sir. Pero
Tell
sir,
me
ra.
kung
Okay ra,
paspas
sir.
ra. Okay. We have now three equations with three unknowns. Okay? So you may select among them. You may pair two equations, then eliminate one unknown. So you may, so here it would be better that you will use this equation and this equation to eliminate something. And how to do that? You can do that. Say, for example, you want to eliminate d. If you want to eliminate d, you should make their numerical coefficient the same. And the only thing to do that is to multiply both sides of this equation so that it will be denominator, numerical coefficient of 2 also here. So if you multiply 2 there, it will be now 10 minus 2d plus 4e plus 2f equal to 0. Here, you just copy it above. 5 plus 2d plus e plus f equal to 0. Then, since they have the same now, the same numerical coefficient, but the sign are the same, so you add them. But in case if their signs are different, so you add them. If their signs are different or unlike, so you are going to add. No? Kung parehas, you subtract. If dili parehas, you add. So if you will add here, you take the sum of the two equations, it will be now 15. It will be 0, right? And it will be plus 5e plus 3f equal to 0. Clear? Subtan class? Nasabtan ba?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So then after that, you have this
Ay, wait lang.
equation and this equation. So you will now pair this equation and this equation. Let me change ito na kita ninyo. Okay, then after that, you need to combine them so that you can eliminate one more unknown. And to do that, okay, let us copy it first. The 15 plus 5e plus 3f equal to 0. And you copy this below, 25 plus 5e plus f equal to 0. And since they have now the same numerical coefficient in e, then you can combine them so that it will be eliminated. Since their signs are the same, so you subtract. So if you subtract this, it becomes negative 10. This becomes 0. And this will be plus 2f. Right? Sakto, no? 2f. Then after that, you transfer 10 to the other side. So it will be 2f equal to positive 10. From negative, it becomes positive. Then you divide both sides by 2. So it is obvious that your f is already equal to 5. Clear? Clear, class? So you already have your f. Question. So ang kinahanglan na nato pangitaon si D o si E. How to get either E or D by using only F. So we can use that one. Okay, can I erase this portion ha? Kini nga portion. So we can use this equation by solving for E, by substituting the value of your F. So your F is equal to 5. So you can substitute that in either of this equation or this equation. So you can select either of the two. So the next thing is, let us use this one. So this is now 15 plus 5e plus, your F is 5, right? 5 times 3 is 15 equal to 0. If you combine these two, this becomes 30 plus 5e equal to 0. So 5e is equal to the negative of 30, right? Sakto? Plus?
Yes,
Then
sir.
you divide both sides by 5, so your e is equal to the negative of 6. Clear? So you already have your E and F. The only thing that we don't have is the D. So you either use this one or this one, right? So let us just use this. Let us erase the equation below so that we can have space here. So what we will be doing is we will just use the value of your E and F to find the D. Okay? Because you already have your E and F, and you are looking for the value of D. And to do that, you just have to use this. It will be 5. Oh, let us use this block here. It will be now 5 minus your D is unknown plus 2 times your E. Your E is negative 6. Negative 6. And your F is just 5. Right? No? And if you will continue simplifying this, it becomes 10, right? 10 man 2 ka 5, no? That is just 10 minus D minus 12, right? Sakto ba? Sakto? So, it will be now negative D minus 2 equal to 0, right? Because negative 12 plus 10 is just negative 2. Clear? Klaro ba, class? Klaro ba? Can you still hear me? Madunggan pa ko, class? Jetro, can you hear me, Jetro?
I-transfer ang negative D, sir.
Yes, you may transfer the negative D. So your negative D is just no, your negative 2 rather. Your negative 2 is just equal to positive D. So your D is negative 2, right? So that's now the value of the D, E, and F. So you already have the 3, right? So you can now give the general form of your equation of your circle. And how to do that? By just substituting that values to your general form. And your general form is already given kaganiha. And your general form is given by this, right? So you just replace, it will be x squared, y squared, plus your d is negative 2. So it will be minus 2x plus your e. Your e is negative 6. So it will be minus 6y. And your f is 5. Equal to 0. Question. Question for this? Any question? Nasabtan, class? Uy, nasabtan, wala.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Nasabtan.
Abot ang uban. Kindly type 1 if walay question. Type 2 kung na-ay concern so that we can address it. In the chat box now. Type 1 kung wala na'y pangutana. Type 2 kung na-kay concern so that we can address your concern. So mostly of you are typing 1 now. How about the rest? What do you think? Is it okay na? Yes, Nashiri Jane Daluma. Do you have any question, Daluma? Daluma.
Sir, F. Sir, katong same sign, sir, imong gi-subtract nato
Again.
katong sa pagkuha nimo sa ano ba sa letter F.
Sa letter
Dili
F?
na ko. Yes, sir. Dili na ko gets katong part na gi-subtract nimo ang kuan same sign.
Okay. Kung same sign man good, kung parehas og sign, ato silang i-subtract para eliminate. Kung same sign. Kuha? Pero kung different ilahang sign para ma-eliminate sila, kung different ilang sign, kung same ang sign, you subtract. Kung different ang sign, you add. Nakuha? Nursery? Example, ha? Example. Naakay, I will repeat ha. Kung same ang sign, example, naakay 5x, then there is 5x. Anyong himo na i-subtract. Wa, Daluma? Pero kung different ang ilahang sign, example, negative 7x, positive 7x, you will add para ma-eliminate siya. Nasabtan ni Daluma ang kuan ganiha?
Sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay na to? Unsa gyud tong
Okay
nakuha
na, sir.
Unsa
Okay
na
na.
tong nakuha nga value sa F kaganina gani class?
5, sir.
5,
Five.
sir. 5.
Yes. Ang ato ang E is
Negative 6.
Negative
6
6.
and our D is negative 2, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So our
sir.
answer is correct. So any concerns? Wala na? Wala na concerns? Okay, let me have one more. Let me share this one. Let's get problem from here. Okay, I will select those tricky problems here so that dili na mo maglisod kung ma-encounter ninyo ni. Okay, this one. So those easy are just your task to answer. I think the tricky here is number 10. Is it tricky, number 10? And number 6. What do you think? Sa'yo na, lisod. Sa'yo lisod. And I think you can answer number 8 now because that is our previous example, right? Lahi lang ang given. Okay, is it okay that we will answer 6 and 10? Then the rest will be yours. Okay? Because we only have limited time to discuss in Zoom. Is it clear, class? Okay na ba na sa inyo ha? 6 and 10. Okay, let me read. Can I ask Geoffrey, can you read number 6, please? Geoffrey.
Yes, sir. Number 6. Determine the value of k so that x cubed
X squared.
x squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 10y plus k is equal to 0. Is the equation of a circle of radius equal to 7 units.
So yun na, class. Kasi na idea saan ka na pag-answer, no? Your given equation is x squared plus y squared. Ito sang sabto ng problem, ha? 8x plus 10y plus k equal to 0. That is the equation of your circle. Wherein k is unknown. Ang gihatag lang dira kana nga equation, at the same time you are also given with the radius equal to 7. Okay, what do you think? Kelmer, Douglas, sa imuon ka nato ana Kelmer. Naka-idea mer? Kelmer? Si
Yes, sir,
Kelmer?
yes, sir, kadang, ano, sir, kanang, ako pang understand ng cancer question,
Sige,
sir.
sige. Sige, pasing insa. Jessa, what do you think? Jessa Galukan. You just have to be honest. Kung wala pa ko yung nakuha answer o history lang po nga wala.
Sige.
Na idea, Jessa? Yes, Jessa? Wala? De Los Reyes. I want to hear coming from De Los Reyes. Na idea, Mitzi?
Sir, wala pa po ka-get, sir.
Sige. I'll give you the idea, ha. Remember, this is general form, right? No? Kani nga portion class, unsa ni siya nga part sa general form? Unsa nga part sa general form? Amin.
Ay.
Kasan.
Radius, sir? Ay.
Unsa nga letter na sa
radius.
general? Sa
F,
general
sir.
form. Sa F.
F.
Very good.
F,
That is
sir.
your F and that is your K, right? Your K is just your F, right? Unsa gani formula sa F kasi nakahinumdum sa formula sa F?
Sir, h squared plus k squared minus
H
r
squared
squared.
plus K squared
R squared.
minus R squared. Nana mo yung R, no? Nanay R?
Even, sir, ko ng
Yes,
7
sir.
unit.
Oh,
Yes,
nice, 7.
7 units.
Ang problema na abot ay H. Christian, what do you think, Christian? Naatay H, Christian, Harold? Basta, Redondo? Na H? Or Aaron? What do you think, Aaron? Na H, Aaron? Alforque? Makuha na to atong H. Any one of you here can tell me how
I think,
to.
sir, sa
Diri. Sa inyong D, di ba?
sir, kay ang 8 i-divide sa negative 2, sir. Makuha ang 8, sir.
Very good. Remember, your D
It's
is
ang D.
just equal to the negative of 2H,
Anong
right?
8x, sir?
Yes. Your D is negative 8, right? This is your D, this is your E, this is your F. Your D is negative 8, so you have your negative 8. Out of that, you can get your H by dividing by negative 2. Sakto tong lingon ka ganyan, negative 2. Your H is positive 4, right? So na tayo value ani. How about your K?
Muna siya ang pangitaon, sir.
Yes, katong sa E, pod, di ba? Remember, your E is negative of 2K, right? Out of your E, you can get your K. Kuha ninyo? Your E is 10. Agree? Agree ba, class? So you divide both sides by negative 2, your K will be equal to the negative of 5. Right? Okay ba, class? Hey, is that okay? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then after that, you can solve for your K or your F, right?
H the radius.
H squared is 4
Yes.
squared. Your K is negative 5 squared. Your R is 7. Then 7 squared na. Right? Sayon naman din na nga problem. O lisod tan-awon. Pero kung kabalo ka sa technique, ay sayon naman di ay. Di ba? So this is now 16 plus 25 plus, minus manino? Minus. Sayop ta. It should be minus R squared. Minus 49. Right? So it is just positive 41. Right? Minus 49. So your K is negative 8. Am I right, class? Do you agree with me? Question? Hello. Do you have any question?
Sir,
Nasabtan?
giun sa gipagkuha ng negative 5, sir.
Ang negative 5, gikuha na diri sa formula ni E. Remember, E is the negative of 2K, right? Your E is 10. Agree? Your E is 10. So you replace it by 10. Kuha? So you divide both sides by negative 2, you can solve for K. So if you divide both sides by negative 2, it will be negative 5. Clear? Okay na?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, nasabtan na sa tanan? Okay, we're done with the number 6. Kung wala na ipangutana, any type 1 kung nasabtan, wala na ipangutana, type 2 in the chat box kung na concern so that we can address it again. Type 2 if na ay pangutana. Type 1 kung wala. Nasabtan na nimo. Okay, so far all of you are typing 1, so no problem for that. Okay, good. Let's continue for the last one, the number 10. Okay. Can I ask Alchester Palacio to read number 10? Can you read, Alchester?
Number 10. For what value or values of K does the circle x minus k quantity squared plus y minus 2k quantity squared is equals to 10 pass through the point 1 and 1?
Kana no? So, ang iyang gibuingon diri, posible na daghan nga answer. Pwede isa ra ang answer or pwede daghan kay value or values, does, do, right? So, what you will be doing so that you can solve for k here. So, I want to hear from you, your suggestions, your recommendations so that we can solve this. Lorraine Ann, do you have any idea, Lorraine Ann?
Sorry, sir. Wala, sir.
Wala. Marv, mag-abo.
Wala,
Marv.
sir.
Wala sad. Okay. Unsa gani himuon? Yes, Marv.
Papanggihan.
Sige. Sige. Unsa gani himuon kung naay point?
Isang question, sir.
Okay, unsa gani himuon kung naay point? Class?
Ata, sir.
Ha?
Mag-graph.
Kung nakay x ug ang y, nya nakay iningon kana nga point naana nga circle. Nakay 1,
H og K, sir.
So pwede nimo na i-substitute
sa
kang x
coordinate.
o kang y, right? No? Sakto ba? So it means kani nga equation kanang x minus k plus y minus 2k squared equal to 10. Ana lisod tanaon nga problem to sayon ra kay ni class. Imo ra nang i-substitute si x dira, si 1 rather, si y dinhi. Y, you're 1. 1 is y. So if you will do that, it will be now 1 minus k's quantity squared, right? And your y is also 1 minus 2k squared, right? Plus, and equal to 10. Again, just mute your microphone. I-unmute lang kung naipangutana. Russell. Okay. So here, if you will simplify it, if you will simplify this one, say answer, Annie B? Francine Angela Uy. What's the answer here if you simplify this one? This term.
K squared minus
Okay.
2K.
Hmm. Ang third term. 1 man di ba? So it will be 1 squared or simply 1, right? Minus 2k, the twice the product of the 2 and square of the last term, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how about this one? Jethro. Kung saan ni Jethro, kung imuha ning i-simplify Jethro sumalinog. Anak ka ni Ma'am sumalinog, Jethro, no? So, Jethro? Hello?
Minus 4K. Yes, sir.
Sige, go.
Positive 4K squared minus 4K plus 1.
So, what is 1 squared? Is 1, right?
1.
The product of them is negative 2k times 2. That's
2K.
negative 4k.
4K. Yes, sir.
Then, positive.
Positive 4K squared.
Very good. And that is equal to 10. Okay. And if you simplify this further, it will be 5k squared if you combine the k squared, right? And if you combine the k, that it will be negative 6k. And for the term, if you transfer 10 to the other side, it becomes negative 10. And this becomes 2, so that will be negative 8, right? Do you agree with me? Because that is negative 10 plus 2, so that is negative 8. Now, the question is, can we factor out this? Anyone who can tell me what are the factors of this? For sure, naanay 5k and k dira, right? Hello? Any suggestion? We don't have stable internet connection. Naganta to, class? Class?
Yung factor, sir. I-factor ang 5k squared minus 6k.
So we need to factor out 5k squared. Ito, minus 6k, no? Plus 8 equal to 0, right? Is this correct, Vlad?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Minus 8, sir.
Minus 8, sir.
Minus 8.
Yes,
Minus 8. Good. So, who can tell me the factors of this?
Sir, nag-comment si Najib, sir.
Yes, Najib. Can we unmute your microphone, Najib? Najib?
5k plus 4 quantities. Ay, ganang. Open parenthesis, 5k plus 4 close parenthesis. Then, ang isa k
minus 2. Very good. Okay. Thank you, Najib. Thank you. So let us check whether the answer of Najib is correct. Let us check it. If you combine this two, that is 4k, right? If you combine this two, that is negative 10k. And if you combine this, if you add this, this is negative 6. You multiply this, negative 8. That's correct. Very good, Najib. Okay? The answer of Najib is correct. Okay. Then after that, if we will continue this one, what we will have is it will be equal to 0. So you can by using zero property of equality, so you can equate each factor into 0. So you have 5k plus 4 equal to 0, k minus 2 equal to 0. And if you simplify it further, it will be 5k equal to -4. So your k is -4/5. While the other side, your k is +2. So there are two values of k here, the +2 and the -4/5. Question? Question, class? Wala na. Okay, I think that would be good for this activity. Now, let me announce this to you. I want you to answer the remaining problems. By the way, class, let me stop sharing first. Stop recording for a while.